Hey everyone. Well, decided to do a whole collection shot this time. This is all my stick bikes that I have. Got I believe 11 now, maybe in total. 9 crates, 2 fastbacks. I do have a 5-speed Corvette that was in one of my other videos, but you can go check it out. But this time I just wanted to keep it to Stingrays. Most of them have an individual video. Some of them may not yet. I do also have a 1964 February 64 Stingray that I'm currently working on. Got it off a guy whose son left it out in the driveway once, and back when they got it new, and ran over the front rim, and man, the paint's about perfect on it, but haven't got it quite to where I can roll it out yet and show it. So I'll make a vid once I get that bike complete. But wanted to go ahead and kind of do a lineup, all of them together. Last time I just did my crates. This time it'll be all the sticks that I have. So go ahead and get to it. First one's my 1968 Apple crate. It's what I call the rotten apple. It's kind of the crusty, rusty bike, one you can just hop on and ride. Don't have to worry about it falling over. Actually, I used a couple bikes to get it to this one. Actually stripped it for the good and gave it the bad. So that's one of my rider bikes. It's one I don't really ride much else. Wanted one that I could just hop on, not have to worry about. So kind of do a little bit of a walk around this time. I am eventually going to get a shock sissy bar for it, just to give it the full look, but that high sissy bar just doesn't do much for me. Next bike is my 1968 Apple that I mildly restored. Go check out the vid on it, but this is probably the nicest bike I have, but I built it that way. Started around the frame, kind of just bought the best stuff I could find, the best original condition stuff. Did have to re-chrome some, but not a whole lot. Bike overall looks like it was really well taken care of, and that's kind of what I was going for. Next is my 69 orange crate. Pretty much got this. This is the first crate I got. Bike basically started it all. My dad had one. It's what made me want to start collecting them. So went ahead and about 2.5 hours drove and picked this one up. Pretty much all original, except the seat. It's a 98, 99 repro seat, so reproduction seat. But I'm eventually going to try and find a condition match seat. Hopefully that's not too far out of the way. 1969 lemon peeler. Sold my Hot Wheel collection to get this one. Was trying to, actually I may eventually try and get all the 69 since I have half of them, but really just haven't lucked into the other two yet. But apples are falling from the tree of plenty. I think I have 4 apples in a 5th frame, but it's not, it's just the frame. So but yeah, this bike here is pretty much all original too, except it's got a cheap China slick on the back of it. Maybe a Uniroyal, I'm not quite sure. I haven't looked in a while, but it's not a Schwinn slick. But maybe the cables are off too, I think a little bit, but stuff like that's going to happen, going to change over time. So no big deal there. 1971 Apple crate. I actually went to a swap meet here this past weekend and found me a seat for it, a condition match seat. So I was pretty happy about that. I do have the original seat, but it's like somebody shoved a grenade in it. It's just completely gone. You can barely tell it was an Apple crate seat. Looked like it just got left out in the sun and started to crack and then just started to fall apart. Went ahead and threw the red line, or the red grasshopper slick on it, just for that cool factor. I always like the way those tires look on these bikes. Some of the other colors are harder to find. This is the second red one I've had. I have a green one, but I never had a orange or a yellow. My 1971 Grey Ghost. Bought this bike in pieces, pieced it back together with the condition match parts. Pretty much just went ahead and made it look like it was never taken apart. It's a February Ghost, so it's one of the earlier ones. Sorry about my finger. Sometimes shooting with the phone's a little difficult. But overall, it's an original Ghost. Most people probably restore it, can't do it. It's an original Ghost. More Ghosts out there now than they ever made, in my opinion. Even if it's totally rusty, crusty, can't even turn the crank arms on it, I'm going to leave it the way it is. This is the second Ghost I got, 1971 also, obviously. This is a March, so this is a year or a month later than that previous Ghost. Bike was all original minus that sissy bar. Believe it or not, the sissy bar on that rotten apple crate I showed you guys earlier was what came on this bike. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it back just the same way I did the other, back like it was never taken apart. So still going through some cleaning, starting to get it put back together. I do have a seat for it, but it's a little bit rough also, but it is original seat, so it'll do until I find something better. 1971 disc brake P picker, December bike, so one of the very first disc brake P pickers to come out. Bike's all original down to the tires, minus the derailleur, the grips, and the chain. When I found the bike, it was missing those, so went ahead and added them. Pretty neat. Still got a registration sticker under the seat from where it was registered a couple towns over, so it is a local bike. Probably one of the best scores. I only had to give $300 for that bike. 1972 disc brake apple crate. This is the first disc I ever got. Came from Florida. Wasn't lucky enough to find one. Was kind of just wanting a disc brake, and ended up finding one the guy had for sale on the forum. So went ahead and was able to purchase that off him. Bike's all original. Need to have the rear fender rolled or replaced with a condition match fender. Kind of see it there in the glare. I think it happened while shipping. That's kind of the problem you're going to have to face whenever you obviously have to, or you go to buy something that requires shipping. You kind of have to put it in other people's hands and hope for the best. 1972 Schwinn Fastback. Bought this bike for 30 bucks. The way it sits, just cleaned it up. It's pretty nice. Obviously 30 bucks gets you the overload tube. I know I just had to buy one for that Ghost that's in pieces. So anyway, yeah, not much cheap for these bikes anymore. It does have the speedometer cable, and the actual head. I take them off because of the way I store my bikes. I have to turn the handlebars, and typically the cables don't like that, so went ahead and took it off. Cheapest bike I ever found, definitely. And my 1971 Schwinn Fastback, one of my more recent finds. Probably just only had it about a month, but really clean bike. Was lucky enough to get this for about 300 bucks, I believe. 350, I think, is what it was. But overall, as you can see, I'm primarily in favor of the crates. Sometimes it's just, you got to find them. That's what, take them to car shows. People are like, well, how do you find them? I got to tell you, it's sitting on a lot of front of a computer. You just got to kind of have to hope that you luck into it. Be the first person there. The 64 Stingray I just got, I raced about 7 people, I think is what the guy said, to get it. And the bike's copper tone, it's beautiful. I'll have to make a video and add it to this when I get it done, but it's not quite there yet. But we'll get it there. Still need a cotton picker. Mentioned that, I think, one before. I don't know why I've been able to find 2 gray Ghosts, even I think a couple that I wasn't able to buy, and yet I have yet to see one real 5-speed cotton picker. Obviously, you know, you can buy them on eBay if you want one, but for me it's kind of the art of the hunt, you know. Now these bikes are starting to get to the point where you can't find them. Maybe it's because I have a lot of them. Most of them is been dwindled down into collectors like me who just kind of hoard them all, but I'll find one eventually. It's my goal to get all 6 colors and see how far it goes from there. But kind of makes you put it in perspective. When you have a problem, you have to walk about 50 feet just to get them all in one shot. But well, that's the collection as it stands right now. Missing my 64, but those are all the stick bikes I have. I'll say thanks for looking. Definitely go check out my other vids, and y'all have a great day.